Hey guys, what's up? Shin0525 here, back with another episode of the Pokemon Master Quest, the series where we are drawing every single Pokemon that appears in the Pokédex. And today's video, we are drawing Charmander, the best Pokemon. Charmander, out of all, like over 1,000 Pokemon that are there, Charmander is the best one. Hands down, there's no argument. If you have another opinion, it's wrong. Charmander's the best Pokemon. But anyway, today we're going to be drawing Charmander here. I got the pre-sketch done right here, and we're going to go over how to draw it, all that good stuff. But before the video starts, remember to like, comment, subscribe. That really does help me out. Also, if you want to see a Pokemon show up in the videos, I do plan on hitting them all eventually. But if you leave what Pokemon you want in the comment section below, it will increase the encounter rate. So the more comments I get on a Pokemon, the more likely it is that video is going to show up. So, yeah, other than that, let's jump in. Let's not waste any time. So yeah, we have Charmander here. And let's do the simple breakdown. So I'm going to make a new layer here. Why is it not showing up? Oh, it's because it's coming in here. Okay, whoops. There we go. So I'll make a new layer, and we'll do a quick breakdown. So since he's a Fire-type Pokemon, I'll do it in red. So the basic breakdown for this picture of Charmander, you can get a pretty decent-sized circle for his head there. And then his body's kind of... it kind of follows like this nice kind of curve, hook curve like that. So, because you want to get the tail in there. But what you could really do is break this down into like an oval. And then it goes into like a oval that kind of bends for the tail there. And then you would get like an oval for the arms here that kind of go out. And then another kind of big circle for where the leg joints start. And then just kind of like an oval where the feet are. And of course the crosshairs for the head. And again, you want to like kind of think of this as like not just like a flat shape. Try to think of it as like three-dimensional, because his head is kind of turned. You'd see that in kind of like this eye when it goes to like the side of the face here. And then this side would be a little bit more flat. But yeah, that's pretty much good. Again, I will turn off the pre-sketch. So this is something that you should have if you were just kind of breaking down Charmander to simple shapes. Also, if you want to, you can kind of draw like a little circle here for where the hand's going to be, a little circle there for where that hand's going to be, and I guess a little circle for the little flame on there. But you should have a basic shape that looks something like this. That should be good enough for us to plan out and start drawing. So I will actually bring this layer back. We will delete this layer. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to name this line art. Like that. Also going to switch my computer into gaming mode because I hear the fan going off because it's in office mode right now. So do that real quick. And now I'm going to make a layer in the line art folder. And we're going to make this black. And yeah, that's pretty good. I might switch up to like a 10 maybe. And yeah, so now all I'm going to do is kind of just go over the sketch that we just did, or the sketch that I have here. So I'll start off with his mouth. So his mouth is actually pretty simple. It's basically kind of like this V, or this very like rounded V shape. So you're going to start here, go down, over, and then I screwed that one up. Whoops, screwed that one up too. There we go. So you want like kind of like this V-type shape like that. And you want to get in his teeth. So his teeth are these nice kind of round, kind of ovals. Again, you can think of like Charmander's kind of like the baby Charizard. So his teeth aren't like sharp. You can keep them nice and rounded. And then here what we're going to do is basically just get like a little U-type. Try going the other way. No, it still sucks. Now we're just going to get a little U... Oh, come on. I'm still not used to drawing on a tablet. Like that. And then we can get little, kind of like upside down U's for the little teeth on the bottom. And then you're just going to get a nice... Might be easier if I put this down. Now you're getting a nice little curve line for the mouth there, like so. And now for his nose, it's very simple. It's just kind of like this little oval, and you can make it black so you can kind of fill that in too. Same thing with this, like this nice little kind of oval. You just kind of fill that in. Nothing too special. The eyes are pretty simple as well. What we're going to do here is take a... start here, and you basically just do this big kind of U shape, or like upside down U. And on the bottom, it's still rounded, but it's kind of flattened as well. So you're not doing like a big curve. You're doing kind of like a straighter line, kind of flattening out on the bottom. And we're pretty much going to do the same thing here. Go down like that, and then turn. Go in like so. And then what we're going to do here is just get a nice little curve. Well, make that a little bit rounded. Get two nice little curve lines there and there for kind of like his eyebrows. And now we'll get his cheek in here. So, again, Charmander's head shape is kind of weird a little bit, because you do get like the rounded, like kind of top of the head, but then it kind of branches out into like this little, almost like triangle shape for like his cheeks and stuff. It really does follow the mouth that he has. So basically what we're going to do here is just draw a line going out, and then curving in like that. Oh, went out a little bit too far. Got a little too excited on that one. So we're going to go out like that. And now for the head shape, you do want to keep it kind of like rounded at the top, but then it just kind of goes into his shoulder here. So... something like that. And then we're going to get a nice little curve line here, just show like the bottom of his chin. And now that we've got that done, we're going to jump straight into this arm here. So I'll zoom in a little bit more. And what we're going to do here is start on his shoulder. And we're just going to go down, and then up, and then in. And you basically get these kind of like little triangles for his fingers. And then here we're going to start with a curve line going down, up, and then put a little bump in for like the palm of his hand. And then just like another little triangle here. I don't want to turn up the stabilizer on this thing. Maybe make that a 13. I feel like I'm being real sloppy today. And now for this arm, we're pretty much going to do the same thing, slightly altered when we get to the hand here. But basically what we're going to do is just start off with a curve line that goes down. And we go straight into that finger here. And we get a little bump here for that finger. And then here we're going to go out, in, out, and then in again like that. And now before drawing this line, we're actually going to draw the line. Actually, let's jump into his foot. And then we'll draw like his stomach and then finish off that arm. So his foot here, I like doing the toenails first, because they're kind of in front of everything. And basically there's this kind of like sideways kind of water droplet or tear droplet type shape. So it's kind of like, or like a cone, really. So you get like a little point, it rounds off and then goes back into the point there. And now here for this leg, we're going to start right about here. Draw a line curving out, over, and then in like that. And then kind of the same thing here. We're going to go out. It's going to curve in, go down, and then kind of just straight into the foot shape there like that. And then what we could do is just draw a nice little kind of line connecting in between the toes. That's very important when you're doing line art, especially in Sai. You want to make sure your line art is connected. You don't want like tiny little gaps in it. That will screw up your selections. But now that we got that done, what I could do here is start here and draw a nice curve line that'll go like straight into the tail there. But right here, what we're going to do is get a curve line for the arm, connected in there like that. And now here, what we're going to do is get a line that curves up and then goes down like that. I kind of want to make it a little bit rounder. Yeah, something like that. And now for this leg, we're going to start right here, and we're going to get a nice little curve line like that. Then we'll get another curve line that curves in like so. So you get two curves kind of bending in this way. And then once you got that done, we'll draw in the toes again, which again, they're very cone-like. Like so, and then we're basically just going to get like a straight line going in there. This line's going to go down, over, and then in like that. And now, lastly, what we're going to do is draw in the tail here. And the tail's pretty simple. It's basically this, it's what you see it here. It's this line that curves over, rounds off, and then curves in like that. That's actually pretty good. And then you do get like a line that starts at the tip and then curves in like so. I'm going to just make sure. And again, this is what you want to look out for. You want to make sure the line art connects into itself. And you do want to overlap the flame here, because this is the kind of special thing. I haven't done this yet in the series, but we're actually going to make another layer. And this layer will be just for the flame. And I'll explain why later. But on this new line layer, we're just going to draw in the flame here. Again, there's no really exact shape on how to draw in a flame. Like, what I just did was pretty good. You just kind of go into, like, little kind of jagged spikes. A tip is you do want to keep the bottom really rounded, like a circle. And then it goes off into kind of like the spikes there, like that. But you do want to make sure you do it on your own layer. So what we're going to do here, so now that we got the line layer down, I can actually turn off the sketch here. Yeah, so now we got the finished kind of like inked version of the lines. And this is good because now we can start making selections and dropping in color. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a new folder above this folder. And I'm going to just call this folder color. And what I'm going to do here is make a new layer. And then I'm going to go back and click on the line layer. And for this one, I actually do want to turn off the flame for a second, because we're going to fill in his body color, then we'll go in and do the flame. But basically what we're going to do here, and I'm going to show this for the first color, then I'm actually going to cut the video, and then after it's all filled in, because this is a very tedious part that's pretty time consuming. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to hit the line layer, and also I'm going to get our little reference image so I make sure I get the colors right. So we're going to get our little line layer here. Make sure you're clicked on that, and we're going to hit the select tool. And with the select tool, I'm going to select all the area that has the color we're going to use. So we're going to use the orange one first. And then I'm going to use the select pen and go in, because there will be little gaps like right here that you will have to fill in manually. Because the select tool, even though it's very good, it doesn't get, like, when the lines get too close to one another, it won't fill those in. So you do have to go in manually in these little tiny parts and make sure they're hitting everything, like right here. This is why it's like so tedious. And we also need to get the tail too. And the tail looks pretty good. So once you got all that done, what I'm going to do is take my eyedropper tool here, select his color that we're using, go to the layer 8, use the bucket tool, and then just drop it in like that. Very simple. And basically, I'm just going to do that for the rest of his body and like all the other colors. And then I will jump, then we'll cut back to after all that's done. So I'm going to do a quick cut here, but yeah, it's pretty much it. Alright guys, we are back. So I dropped in all the color here, and as you can see, just all the colors dropped in. I did leave out the flame because we are going to handle the flame a little bit differently. So basically what I want to do is, I already have the color picked out for it. We're going to click this, and we're pretty much going to do the same thing that we did with all the other colors. I'm going to make a new layer for it. We are going to go back to the line art layer. We're going to select this, fill this in. I will have to, definitely for this one, fill in some of these gaps here, like that. And you do also want to get inside the tail too. Don't forget the inside of it. And I'm just gonna go over the line work just in case it misses a little something, but that should be good. Oh, and we forgot a little bit right here. That should be good. I'm gonna take this and I'm going to just paint bucket the color in. And we're just going to deselect that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this layer and bring it over here. And make it go over the normal line layer. So this is the fire line layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer, clipping mask. So I'm going to make a clipping mask for this. I'm going to take the base color tool. I'm just going to fill this in red as well. Like the same color red. I'm also going to go with our ink pen here and just kind of darken in these edges a little bit. Whoops. On this layer. Because I see they're coming up a little light. Same thing right there. That should be pretty good. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to merge all three of these layers together. The little merge things right here. So we basically have the flame kind of on its own thing, which is good. And we want to take this out of the line art layer and just kind of leave it by itself. Like so. And what I'm going to do with the color layer here is I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go to layers here. I'm going to copy it. So I'm going to make a copy of all the color layers that we have in here. And what I am going to do now is kind of turn off the color layer underneath. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the eye layer because I want that separate. But all the other colors here, I'm going to merge into one group. So all the colors here are going to be their own color now in one group. And now the reason why I make keep the color layer here separate is just in case we need to make selections and go back. We won't really need to do it for this video, but it's always good to have, and it's always good to stay neat too. So, but what we're going to do is jump into his eyes now, and I'm going to click on the eye layer. I'm going to create a new layer, create a clipping mask. I'm going to take this kind of blue color. I'm going to make a really dark version of it and set it to multiply. Change the layer mode to multiply. And we're just going to go into our base color here, shrink it down a little bit, maybe go to like 30. And now what we're going to do is just kind of follow the reference here. Even though it's black, I should probably just make it black. Nah, let's not make it black. We're going to just kind of follow the reference there. And basically what you want to do is get that nice big kind of oval in the middle of his eyes. So here and here. So we're going to get that nice oval shape for his pupil. And then we're going to get that nice curve that he has there. And then we're just going to shade all this in. Like so. Again, we're going to get that nice curve. And then we're going to shade all this in. Like that. That should be pretty good. And now what we're going to do is make a new layer. Or actually, we're going to go back to this layer. We're going to add an effect. And we're going to go to water fringe. And turn that up quite a bit. Basically, what the water fringe does is it puts this kind of like outline around it. And that's something that we want. It's a nice little effect to have. And then with this layer that we create above that one, we're going to create another clipping mask. We're going to change it to white. And we're just going to add in that big white light reflection here. Like so. So there's one. And then this one's kind of right here like that. So there we go. We got his eyes. Nothing too complicated there. So now what we're going to do is jump onto his body, and we're going to create a new layer above that one. Again, create a clipping mask. Again, set it to multiply. And what we're going to do here is take kind of like this beigey color right here. Something like that. And we are going to go to the airbrush. And we're going to make the airbrush pretty big, maybe like 160 for this one. And we're just going to kind of follow the shading that's there. So he has like a shadow underneath here, kind of on the curve of his head here like that. And again, the shadow kind of goes like underneath. There like that, kind of goes down. You're going to get a little bit underneath here. You're going to get a lot where the tail is here. A nice little curve line here. And kind of this whole foot. I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit. Kind of the whole foot there like that. Then we'll get a nice little curve line right here. And then kind of the back of the foot. Like so. And again, I'm just kind of drawing in where like the shadows would be. on little Charmander here. And we would get a little bit right here. Like so. And again, you can hit this symbol right here. And basically what this does is it takes the whatever brush or whatever you're using and basically makes it into an eraser. So you can get kind of like a sharper edge now here and help kind of cut into the shadow and take it away for like places you actually don't want it really to be hitting, which is quite useful. Like that, kind of refine the shape a little bit. And one more thing that we want to do is we're going to go and take the blur tool here. And we're going to click off of that erase mode. And we're going to go down and make this a little bit smaller. Maybe like, that's a little too small. Maybe like a 70. And you just want to do nice little kind of quick jabs, just to kind of blend in the shadow here a little bit better. Like that. Kind of same thing over here. Just kind of blend it all in. And again, you just want to do little kind of quick jabs. Nothing too crazy. So now that we got that done, we can go into the highlights here. And what we're going to do is just make a new layer above that, create another clipping mask, and then set this one to screen. And basically what I like to do is kind of click one of the lighter colors. So kind of like this. And then we're going to go back to the airbrush tool. And yeah, we're just going to add a little bit of highlight. So he kind of has like a dot on his head here. So we can kind of draw that in. Just a little curve line. Like that. Maybe a little bit of rim shading like so. And then he'd have some on his stomach here. A little bit on his arm. A little bit right here on his leg, and a little bit on here too. So something like that. That looks pretty good. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to put it too many spots, but that looks pretty good. And I do like the intensity of that. So yeah, we'll keep it at like 100. But with the multiplier, like the shadow layer we have, I'm actually going to crank that down just a tad. Something about right here should look good. And last thing I want to do with the color layer here is I do want to give it a texture. Probably like watercolor too. Kind of bring that up. Maybe something right there. Again, you kind of want to give it a little bit of a rough texture, just a little bit. Just something like that. And then now we could jump into the flame here. So the flame will keep a little bit different. We'll kind of try to follow the kind of reference here. But this is the reason why I wanted the flame on its own layer. Because basically what we're going to do here is kind of take the airbrush tool again. Maybe make it real small. And we're going to make a new layer, clipping mask, normal. We're going to set it to multiply like we did the color layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this color. We're going to go up here and just make it real dark, something like that. Nothing too dark, but then we're just going to go to the airbrush tool again. And basically you just kind of want to do kind of like the rim a little bit. Like that, kind of right here. Maybe like put a little like spikes in it too. Like that. Again, you just kind of want to go on the rim in some areas. Something like that would work. And then again, we can also go use the blur tool. We'll shrink this down a little bit. Maybe make it like a 20. That might be a little too small. Maybe like a 30. And again, just kind of slightly blend it in a little bit. Like that. Now we're going to create another layer, clipping mask. This time we're going to change the color to a yellow, like a nice bright yellow. And we can probably set this one to screen, and we'll try going back to the airbrush, see how this comes out. And you just kind of want to just kind of add like a little bit of yellow in here, kind of give it like its own kind of shape. Something like that. And there you get kind of like a nice little flame going on. I guess if you want to, you can kind of use the blur tool as well. Just kind of mix that in there. But there you have it. You have a nice little flame. And then this layer you can probably set to like... Okay, overlay's not going to work. Hard light? Maybe. That looks really fiery if you set it to like a hard light. Soft light looks terrible. Ping light. Again, you can play with the layer styles here. Like multiply would look pretty good. Maybe overlay. No. Screen. No. You'd want like something dark and maybe lower the opacity a little bit. Hard light. Yeah, something like that. Make it look real, like real fire. Yeah, there you go. That looks pretty good. So, yeah, anyway, guys, that is pretty much... Let me hit Control-0 to make sure it's centered on the thing. I always forget to do that. But that is pretty much how we draw a Charmander here. And, yeah, I think this was a pretty successful catch. I like how our little buddy turned out. Again, Charmander is the best Pokemon out of all of the Pokemon. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, thank you so much for watching the video. The end slate's coming up. That's just where I get to ask you to like, comment, subscribe one more time. But, yeah, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoy it. Also, I want to point out, if you guys are following along with this series and, like, draw your own Pokemon, tag me on Twitter or Instagram or whatever social media you're using. And I'll definitely repost your stuff. I'm real interested to see if you guys are following along and drawing these Pokemon along with me. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. Later. Hey guys, welcome to the end slate. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope your catch went well. And yeah, this is just the part of the video where I ask you to like, comment, subscribe, share it. You can follow me on all my socials. Link is down in the description below. All that stuff really helps me out, and I really do appreciate it if you do take the time to do that. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Also, just want to remind you guys, your comments do affect the encounter rate in these videos. So write what Pokemon you want to see me draw next, and the more comments I get on one, it increases the chances of us running into one and catching it in our Master Quest here. So other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.